At Tennessee State University, Dr. PMillet. And of course, Dr. Millet, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And to tell you, Dr. Millet, how delighted we are to have you here and to especially talk about the topic that we're going to deal with this morning. And what we've tried to do over the last several weeks is to deal with President Obama's education plan, his health plan, as well as his energy plan. And in order to do that, you represent our education spokesperson for this particular show, trying to get out as much information as we possibly can dealing with President Obama's education plan. But before we do that, Dr. Millet, let's see if we can have you to give us some information about yourself, about PMillet, about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in eventually leading you to the deanship of the College of Education at Tennessee State University. Then we'll talk about President Obama's education plan.
Okay, Dr. Haney, thank you very much. I appreciate very much the invitation. I enjoy being here. Thank you very much. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. In my family, education has always been very important in my family. My mother was born right here in Tennessee. My father was born in Trinidad. Trinidad is a little island off the coast of South America, but he came over to the United States when he was very young to study and pursue his education. Eventually, he got a master's degree at Princeton, and he got a doctorate degree in Boston University. So education has always been very important. Now, for myself, I've moved around quite a lot, and much of it has been related to my educational studies. I was born in Buffalo, New York, started in the public school system, and I'm a product of the public school system. I've been in public schools all the way through. I got my bachelor's degree at Oakland University in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Got a bachelor's degree in clinical psychology. I continued my education at the Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. I got my master's degree, got my PhD at the Ohio State University. So part of my training in another life is I'm licensed in the state of Tennessee as a clinical psychologist. So I've got two hats. One hat as a psychologist, the other one is in education. Now, part of my training continued. I had to do what's called a residency. So as part of the clinical psychology training, I did a residency at the Medical College of Georgia in Augusta. I came to Nashville, Tennessee. I did another residency at Meharry Medical College. So I'm very well versed in psychology. Now, let me tell you how I got into education. The way I got into education was I started at Tennessee State University in 1997. I was an assistant professor of psychology. So I had that for a number of years. And then I was about 5 years into my stay at Tennessee State, the department head position came open. So I applied for the position of department head in psychology, and I was selected for that position. Now, I stayed in the department head position for 5 years, and the position of dean of the college came open. I applied for and I was successful in getting the position of the dean of the College of Education at Tennessee State. Now, I've been in that position for 5 years. Now, part of my training has been specifically related to education and education administration. Like I've told you so far about my psychology training and psychology background, but some of the other experiences that I've had in education, in 2003, I was selected to have a postdoctoral fellowship experience at Harvard University, and the focus of that was on education, administration, leadership. In 2007, I had another one experienced by a group called the Millennium Leadership Initiative, and that is sponsored by the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, and they give you additional administrative types of training. So those are some of the kinds of experiences that I've had. I've been at Tennessee State University for 12 years now, and I've got a number of interesting things I can tell you about the university.
Very good. And as a matter of fact, Dr. Millet, that's excellent information. That's the kind of information that we're looking for. And I'm sure that with that kind of information, we can start this second segment in a few seconds in reference to President Obama's education policy and education plan. And of course, let me encourage our audience to stay tuned for the second segment of this show, which will deal with President Obama's education plan. And of course, I think that Dr. Millett, since has laid the foundation for a very, very excellent discussion of that particular education plan. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic